we run the clock. Super 16, it's the cream of the crop. College football time of year, don't stop.
You're adding this guy.
Just another go dome with the courage, heart, skill, and will. Bringing you the best 16. Serving up a plate for the football fiends. Breaking the best 16 college teams. Football fans, it's the show with your dreams.
Ain't no bias. Chris Zorich breaking truth. Traded in the golden helmet in the passport suit. With the tape, never lies. College ball, he's a stoop. Breaking the top 16, not the top 32.
I don't mean to cut you off like a Zorich jersey, but you ain't really grinding unless the jersey dirty. Hit the running back like a Mack truck behind the 30-yard line. It's game time. My team riding off the sideline.
You look at Chris like this with a fact checklist, going over college teams like a busy scientist. Steve streaking from his head like in his playing days. Super 16 polls on the show straight away.
It's the FBS, the best of the best, from the ACC to the SEC. Pac-12, Big 10, Mountain West, Sun Belt, and the Big 12. Open your eyelids, who the best like the clock? Super 16 is the cream of the crop. College football time of year, don't stop. With Christopher Zorich, just another go dome with the courage, heart, skill, and will. Bringing you the best 16. Serving up a plate for the football fiends. Breaking the best 16 college teams. Football fans, it's the show with your dreams.
Hello, everyone. I do want to apologize for the late start. I had some technical difficulties that had to reboot a whole computer and type everything I had to do again. So I do apologize about that. However, we have had another great week of college football. We saw some favorites go down. We saw some teams improve on all of their stats. And we saw one kind of storybook program suffer their first loss. Before I get started, kicking off the Super 16, I'd like to bring my sidekick in and co-host / super producer / everything else. Philatoshi, you want to jump on in here?
Whoa, I'm in here with you, bro.
How are you, sir?
I don't know which side I go on your show, but everybody prefers me.
It's okay.
On the left. I think with you, I'm on this side. We're good.
You can go on the other side if you want.
I can't be a 3-time All-American.
As long as well, yeah, you can. All you need to do is have somebody type it in. It's good. It's that easy.
Hey, I can't do it like you did back then. Again, if you're just tuning in, I was a big fan of Chris Zorich in college, and then he went to my favorite football team. Now I consider him a friend.
Football team.
I consider him a friend.
Oh, me. I'm sorry.
Yes, you.
I thought you were talking about.
I was rooting for Notre Dame, but we'll talk about that later. The other team I couldn't root for.
What other team was that?
Oh, I'll tell you about that too in a second. I do want to let fans know the Chris Zorich, the Super 16 poll with Chris Zorich is also open with Super Chat, Chris. The whole network has opened up. So you have a big time question you want answered, Chris will answer it here. Again, amazing night last night on our show and our networks with the fans, but not with Matt Eberflus and that other team that I was referring to. 34-0 at the halftime, Chris. Listen, I went prior to the game and said this is the worst coached NFL team right now, and that's going off of the tapes that I've been watching. Then, again, fans were, 70 points put up against Denver. I don't know. I'm looking at the course of history here. The last 12 games you've lost, 13 games in a row, you have lost. I looked at halftime 34-0, and I said it's worse than Denver because you see quitting on the team. You see all this drama behind the scenes, players put on injured reserve without even knowing they were hurt. The defensive coordinator suddenly resigns people are pointing fingers. The quarterback is making up excuses, handling adversity in the worst way possible, saying his truth only to backpedal. I don't have a horse in the race. The horse is the jersey for me. Unfortunately, it's run by the McCaskey so far. I hope your friend and colleague, your former agent, is my only hope right now. That he
I think he's everybody's only hope.
Clean this garbage up. I mean, I can't even be nice here.
Well, wait a minute. You also forgot that there was some equipment stolen from Soldier Field.
Soldier Field equipment was stolen. I'm sure they were more mad at that than they were at some other things. That's how bad this is. I've never been more embarrassed of a football team than I was on Sunday and throughout the whole course of this season. You know, it's the energy is loud. And what I mean by that, it's like deafening how they walk to a different tune than anybody is playing like. If you talk a certain way and then you get on the field and you play the opposite, then that is the worst kind of culture that you're building. The expectation for you is talk a line in the sand, but let them step over it every time. And Eberflus, Eber excuse, Eber lose, hashtag Eber lose has been my hashtag now because you've consistently lost. I've said this before. Anybody has said it. I said it last year, and I got a lot of heat. Exactly. I said losing is a disease, and when your head coach comes out after you lose and comes with a laundry list of positives, you have the wrong head coach. This was last year. I got a text from a former player, not Chris. Like, bro, he was the one trying to remind me, like, this dude, if he comes out in this presser and starts doing what you said he does, he should be fired tomorrow. Well, Chris, hold his beer because Eberflus comes out and lists what he liked in the third quarter, how they came out down 34-0. That was how you start your presser after getting embarrassed.
I mean, think about what happened in the locker room. Like what was the like? I would love to have been a fly on the wall in the locker room. Like, what do you say that you come out and you only score 6 points?
Bro, this guy said they had a great week of practice. I remember Mark Trestman saying that. I don't talk about practice. This is a culture that's more worried about fans in the stands videotaping their preseason pads and shorts than they are about winning games. And it shows on Sunday. You look like a JV football team playing a college team. That's what you look like. And where you want to drop it at the feet of who you want, I will argue to the death. The head coach is the problem. Ryan Poles, yes, he's had some misses. We can disagree. I know I would never have drafted Javon Dexter. I would have went another way. People know that. And we have disagreements in there. That's going to happen with a GM. I look at this roster on paper and I say there's plenty enough to win. And the quarterback has collapsed. There's moments in the game where, his wide receivers taking him out because there's question whether or not he got a concussion or he might have blacked out for a second. He didn't even get checked. The coach doesn't know injuries that have occurred. Everything is in shambles, and there's no Ryan Poles, no firing today. Your offensive coordinator is horrific. I said get rid of him last year. It ain't going to get better. Chris, I can go on for even longer.
Well, no, I'm sure. But what's the instant fix for next week against Who the hell are they playing next week? I forgot.
They're playing I don't even know either. They're playing the Denver Broncos.
Yes,
who got
yes, the Broncos,
70 points. Now, Chris, they'll get beat by the team that let up 70 points, and then those blog boys, oh, you were right, they are. No, this is a disgrace. There is zero chance the Chicago Bears, I'm blowing my picks this week right now, but there's zero chance this team is going to be turned around by this administration. Your words are falling on deaf ears. Once you talk and don't act, it's not going to do it. Now, the instant fix, if you're staying with Justin Fields, I believe he should be benched. I thought he should have been benched in that game. Mm-hmm. And a message should be sent that, I said this on BHL. I know it ruffles feathers, but it's the truth. If your offensive coordinator is designing run plays for your quarterback, he's not a quarterback. He's a running back. And that's the problem. Your coordinator doesn't know how to help him be a quarterback by getting under center, running the football, running power game, and using action and movement to get this guy to the level where he should be. He's comfortable running action, getting back onto his 7-step drop. His mechanics look better. His throwing timing and rhythm looks better. But we will do it one play, and then the very next play, we will be in the gun 25 times in a row. And Justin Fields is not June Jones's quarter. He's not Warren Moon that can see it, rip it, grip it, rip it. No, that's right. He's not. He's processing. He's overthinking. And anybody and everybody could point fingers of where, But for me, it's twofold. The head coach sucks. The offensive coordinator is completely running the worst scheme for Justin, and that's where the immediate fix would be, is running the football, getting in 2 tight ends with Mercedes Lewis. Don't bring Tunyon on. He can't block. He's a H-back. He's a receiver, a big receiver. It's embarrassing what they do with this guy. He's the second time I've seen an NFL player on a toss play not block anybody. That should only happen in high school, never in the NFL. But Tunyon did it. I can't wait I got the tape tonight.
Ooh.
I'm not even cutting it tonight. I said to my wife, no freaking way. I'll do that tomorrow when my headache goes away. I can't even look at that tape. It's so probably bad. But the quarterback stinks right now. I have said the politics at Hallis Hall, Chris, are terrible. They're, they put the Bayesian clearly won the second string quarterback. Once the fan base was kind of rallying and this guy was sort of trending on social media, people were feeling and seeing the rhythm and the accuracy and the anticipation. His story was getting told. Somehow, some way, he makes the 53. And then 2 days later, they bring Peterman that surpasses him. And all of a sudden, he's your third string quarterback because I have heard that a certain quarterback was feeling threatened.
Ooh,
well, if
Lord.
That's what's going on, then you don't have the right guy, right? You can't be worried about the backup. Worry about the front up, right? What's going on in front of you? So that's what's going on. Bayesian, I believe, should be the second string call. I'm not saying bench Justin this weekend. I'm not. He's got to go out there and face adversity. He's not faced. I think Shane was saying in the show in the green room before with the technical difficulties. He hasn't faced adversity like this since he transferred from Georgia, where there's unknowns and questions. Now he's dealing with this, and you're right, Kerry. He should be threatened. Anybody playing that bad and that energy in the post-game pressers, to me, listen, I said it last week. He was mentally gone after the second game. The third game now, After losing to Tampa, you could see, and then the talk back, then change it. It's just a bad situation. The Bears are like, I said it last week. They're a dysfunctional organization right now, and it starts with the head coach. I believe Kevin needs to continue with Ryan Poles. Let Ryan Poles pick another coach, but the firing should happen now. With everything that's going on and the questions with the DC, the head coach should be gone now. You're going to name a replacement. You're going to try to get someone. You're going to get rid of the OC, Mr. Senior Bowl coach. No, get rid of him. He doesn't get it. And you're going to correct this the right way. They're NFL players. We can get it back on track by running the football. There's no reason Deonta Foreman is not out there. Yeah, you're done.
Woof.
It's done, Chris.
Woo.
I will be the first one to say I was completely. There's no way that they can get this turned around. Zero chance. Zero. I mean, it's terrible. I haven't even watched the tape of this game, and I know it's people are getting fantasy football numbers and confused. The offensive line isn't the problem. The quarterback is. People have to make plays. I know DJ Moore dropped the perfect pass. The quarterback is a problem. The head coach is a problem. The politics are a problem. Kevin's got to clean the house. You got to get football first people there. If they make George uncomfortable, give them a check mark. That's a positive. If they make George uncomfortable, you've passed the first test of the resume. Because if you have George comfortable, then you're another tucked in guy. He said he'll be there at church with Virginia and me on Sunday. No, wrong guy. Uncomfortable. I don't know who that is. Harbaugh obviously is my number one guy. They should roll out the freaking red carpet for him. He would fix this. He completely makes George uncomfortable. He has a great relationship with Kevin Warren. And I've said this all the time. I've been pining for him before he got the Stanford job, before Lovey was hired. I wanted Harbaugh here. I just knew you could see a great coach. You could see them fire out. You could see the emphasis on the run game and the power football. You're in the NFL. You want to beat these guys? Power football, sound assignments. My father's looking at this like there's no rules, Chris. There's no man over in zone. We saw it on bootleg. There's a man down of you in an inside 4-eye. You're the left tackle. The boot's going outside of you. They don't block him. He just runs right in. This is the NFL. That's your rule. He's down inside of you. You got to block him. The quarterback, you're leaving the last man open for the boot. That's who you're tricking. They don't even know that. I'm teaching this to Pee-wee kids.
To Pee-wee kids.
And they can't freaking do this on the NFL. Are you kidding me? Am I predicting an 0-17 season? Yes. If they continue to, let's pretend this didn't happen. We had a good week this week too in practice. Did you see his presser today?
No one stole anything?
He's a disgrace. This coach, I had such high, he said everything I wanted to hear. It's like going to church with a preacher that says everything you want to hear. And then he's out in the back stealing all the money, buying Cadillacs and stuff. That's what you got as a head coach. He's got a mansion and Cadillacs. Meanwhile, we're trying to feed the kids and the altar boys that haven't eaten in weeks, right? Oh, I got a new mansion, Chris. Anyway, the Bears. All I keep hearing is Denny Green in my head. God bless them. They're who we thought they were.
Wow.
You know how frustrating it is? I know how to fix this. And I just keep watching the same garbage. And I think every fan of TTNL sees them go, okay, they're in the eye. They get 6 on a trap game. I don't know what they call it there. They ran offset I and ran counter power to the backside. I just would call it counter, right? They get 6. So it's 2nd and 4. The very next play, they're in the shotgun. You've established an attack. Your line fired off, right? The next play, you're in the shotgun. Why? Get on same look. Maybe boot out of that. Maybe run an ISO to that side. Oh, you got 4 more. Oh, a first down, Chris. We're running the ball. No, we're gonna try to run the run and shoot. We're gonna run a vertical pass here. Bubble. There's no
Forgot the screen.
There's no like counter to what it is you do well. They don't know their identity. Oh, they're doing great in practice. That's right. Anyway, that's the Bears, Chris. They'll lose 28-10.
I was expecting a longer rant, but thank you.
I'm exhausted. I just broke down tape with 8 and 9-year-olds, Chris.
Oh my God. Broke down tape. Come on.
I did. We watch the film every Monday night of our Sunday game. We have to watch it and learn.
8 and 9-year-olds.
That's right. They watch the tape. And they see themselves. That's where they learn.
Wow.
It's
I'm
crazy.
assuming they did not watch tape last year.
They did not.
So you're teaching 8 and 9-year-olds how to break down film.
Well, I'm just teaching them their assignment and to look at themselves and fix it. And that's how you learn. And they do. Only thing is, I go, okay, everybody that has to go to the bathroom, we're doing it now. Go now. Because they have that whole.
Oh, my God.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Right.
Can I go right in the middle? And it's like drives me crazy. But other than that, they're great. Oh, man.
All right. Well, speaking about going to the bathroom.
Yes.
Let's cover this Super 16 because we had some rough games this week.
Yes. We want to start off with number 16, Chris?
Why not?
Number 16, North Carolina.
So there's a new team to the to the poll show, and actually we were fans of the quarterback last year.
Yes.
May, right?
Yes. May I? Yes, you may. He would be on a list. He'd be on the list.
He was expected to go to do some wonderful things. He is improving, but they actually got a chance to get in the first Super 16 with a win over Pitt, a decisive win over Pitt. And that's promising, considered they have to play an interesting schedule in the future. So,
well, they beat South Carolina.
Yes, they did.
Then they beat App State, who's been known to upset. They went to overtime.
It was close.
Overtime. But App State, you got to give them. They are like the Gonzaga.
Absolutely.
Right? They're
Absolutely.
always, or maybe Gonzaga's too, because Gonzaga has now become a powerhouse in basketball. But App State's trying to go that route. Then they beat the Big Ten, Minnesota, and then you're right, Pittsburgh, 41-24. They have a big game this weekend against Shane's Syracuse Orangemen. So that's North Carolina. And the quarterback is NFL caliber first-round quarterback, no doubt.
And they were saying last year, it's funny because they were talking about maybe him taking an NIL deal somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. See, there you go.
Yep. Speaking of Notre Dame.
Number 15, Notre Dame.
Oh, that was a plant, wasn't it? That was a good segue, huh? That's not fair. That was that was a rough one.
Oh my God, Chris. I felt so bad for you.
Well, here's the thing though. And I mean, I was talking to folks. I was talking to people. And like, hey, I'm sorry about it. Here's the thing. You can't shoot yourself in the foot at the end of the game. The last two plays only have 10 guys on the field. Okay. And the fact that we actually could have hung in there and actually won that game, considering there were a couple questionable calls on both offense and defense. There were some coaching miscues as well. I actually think Notre Dame did really well considering last year and who the competition was that they beat this year. Because everybody's like, hey, both teams are 4-0. This is great. Notre Dame's going to come in and dominate. And I'm like, hold on, they haven't been tested yet. When the adversity you faced was a rain delay 2 games ago, that's really not adversity. So they had a chance to see kind of what it takes to play with the big boys, and they were almost there. Had they not kind of fumbled the ball, or maybe they even ran the ball more,
should have ran.
They would have walked away with a victory.
Number 7, they tried to get gimmicky on those 4th down call with the quarterback sneak. He tried to bounce it. Can't do that. I would have liked to see number 7 getting the ball. I know they gave him the ball
more.
Yeah, I wanted to see him more. I liked, what is his name? Payton. What's his name? Number 12, the running back. He hits the hole.
Yeah.
He's not afraid. But number 7, in those critical short, I mean, that's a big athletic back. Like, use him. You want to pull the ball with the quarterback and do that, but have the big man in there as a threat. Those linebackers were jumping up to try to stop him. And then you had the game won. It's 3rd and 19, for God's sake. Game's on the line. Or was it 4th and 19? Whatever it was.
I think it was 3rd and 19.
You do a 3-man rush and try to drop in these zones, and he hits the receiver at the 1-yard line. The worst possible place with the time. It was a travesty. You were blitzing him, and you were getting him frustrated. It's 3rd and 19. That's not the time. Me and you were texting like, I hope you don't go sitting in the zone. And they did exactly that. And then to 1st down, Chris, I'm like, if they run left, it's wide. There's a huge bubble. There's 2 guys versus 4. They have only 10 men on the field twice.
Back to back.
That is on the head coach.
Right. And after the game, he took blame. He said, hey, we have to get better. My fault. Let's move on. I'm sure it's frustrating as hell for him, as, it's tough when you have to count the guys on the field and you're the head coach, right? I mean, he was talking about that they were trying to get somebody in there. And, the hard thing, I saw Ben's comment, yes, they could have got that interception, but at the end of the day,
he tipped the ball.
As much as we love our defensive players, that's not what they do. I mean, their job is to tackle and knock heads off. And I mean, if it was a receiver that dropped the ball in the last second, that's a different story. But and I'm not making excuses. It's just that it's hard to let a the game rely on an interception. Had he made it, yes, it would have been awesome. But you can't blame that on that one play.
Yeah, that was on 2nd down there in long. They got the difference between winning and losing, I always say, is catching and dropping the football.
Yeah, no shit.
He catches that, game's over. And he's a hero, a legend.
Right.
That's the difference. I mean, he tips in the air, it goes out. Oh, now it's 3rd and 19. You had a shot. Then they go into zone.
Well, and then also at the end of the day, I mean, Ohio State has some great players in their squad as well, right? So, if you break down their side, their scheme, it was just on our side, there were so many missed tackles, especially in the first half. I mean, it was just kind of embarrassing. So,
and I thought I want to know what you thought. I thought it was you're at home. That first drive out, they go for it on
Get the
fourth.
points, man. Get the points.
I wanted the points there, especially when you're that team that has not overcome this situation.
Right.
Like, just take those points. That wasn't hindsight.
Right.
I was like, I rather you had a good drive here. Just come away with points.
Right.
And they didn't. And that's a question. You know, you go either way with it, but I see what you're saying. And everything I agree with. 15, Notre Dame.
Out. Killing me. They dropped 5.
Hey, they did play Ohio State tough, so people can't hate on that.
Right.
They had it. It just got away. And the 10 men just puts like that nasty, it's like that spicy food you eat. It was good going down, and then all of a sudden that reflux starts messing. Gotcha. Let's go to number 14.
Number 14, Oregon State.
And these guys only dropped 1. And reason why, I mean, they lost the game, and it was a close game. And actually, Washington State is pretty good. So although they didn't drop 5 like Notre Dame, I felt they just had a better chance. So
yeah, Oregon State, the kid, former Clemson quarterback, DJ. We can never say his last name.
I'll have to get one of those cards that spell it out phonetically for me.
Yeah, we got to get that, the pronunciation sheet. Sure.
Yes. Oh yeah, there we go. Then we can like big time. Zorich.
Shin. Yes, see? A toe and a shin.
There you go. But then they have a picture of an O and then a toe, right?
Yeah, and a shin. You gotta have the shin.
You're right, exactly.
Let's go to number 13.
Number 13, Oklahoma.
Now this is going to be kind of my dark horse, not like Baylor of yesteryear.
Baylor,
but, a dark horse, so to speak. I mean, they wound up going up 2, only beat Cincinnati by 14. But I mean, I've actually been impressed with Oklahoma for a while. Cincinnati, not since last year, a couple years ago, when we had those conversations about who's winning and what should happen. However, forgot the Oklahoma's quarterback's name, but
it's Gabriel.
They've been doing the whole shit.
Former Kansas State.
Okay, right.
That's where he came from.
Okay,
that's where I was trying to think of it too, and I was watching again YouTube TV. If you need a code, I got you for the YouTube TV. You get $60, and I think they give you HBO free.
Oh wow!
I'll give you it for 4 months, and then you get.
Then it's $500 a month, right?
No, I think it's 60. You get a certain amount off your bill. Anyway, DM me if you want it. I'll send you a link, Chris, because I really have to give YouTube TV some love. That we don't even sponsor us, but it's even on the go on your phone. All the games are there. They pop right on. You don't have any like loop-de-doop, whatever the hell that is.
Really?
Buffering. None of that. It's just straight up. And then the only thing I can complain about on the phone, they don't give you the option for the 4 games. You only can watch the game. But on their TVs,
right, there's
4 and 6 games.
Oh my God. It's like heaven. Great. And then can you switch the volume to each one, or
so it highlights it with a white like art. See these boxes with the orange? Right. So a white highlight will go around the box you're watching.
Okay.
Then you could press your remote to the right. It'll go to the next box, and then
with the sound.
With the sound on that game. So you could choose which box you want sound.
Okay.
Very, very good stuff.
Wasn't that back in the day? Wasn't that called picture in picture?
Yeah.
Now that was all big time.
Now I just call it
regular
football heaven. I don't watch all the boxes for the NFL, but for college, it's perfect.
I bet.
I just watched the Bears get their asses served for them on one channel.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one. One TV.
So Oklahoma, though, Gabriel, I like it. And what's his Brett Venable? Is that
Yes.
his?
The old coordinator from Clemson?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe. I like what he's doing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your former teammate, Dante Jones, is a fan.
Okay. Yes.
Of Oklahoma.
better be.
Oklahoma. Number 12, Chris.
Number 12, Utah.
The Utes.
Utes, Ben.
The Utes are struggling a little bit. 14-7 over UCLA. I mean, I only moved them up one because of that. I'm starting to get a little nervous. Not sure if they're going to be in the Pac-2 championship. So,
Yes.
did you get that?
Should be higher, Chris. Can't wait to get Cam Rising.
I know,
back.
but it just that's the reason why. And until he comes back,
Yeah, it was a struggle versus UCLA. And UCLA's quarterback, young kid, at the very end, you could see tight game. Our guy from Utah, the head coach, I know Chip Kelly was getting fired up. They ended up putting this young quarterback down. Their defense, man, they're so well coached on defense. That's a good head coach. The Utah head coach. Oh my God, every time his team is in a close fought game, he gets his team to rise to the occasion. And they did it again against UCLA. When they needed a play, the defense was able to do it. I know they missed Cam Rising, and they're in the top 12 for a reason.
Still a fan, absolutely. Still a fan.
Let's go to number 11.
Number 11, LSU.
Not too much fan of this guy, but they wound up staying put. I mean, they've been able to bounce back from the being embarrassed on national television, from Florida State.
Daniels really played a great game.
Yeah, he is improving, so that's what they need.
You could see the improvement in him. Starting to build confidence. I'm sure. You think Ryan was watching the Notre Dame game at night?
Are you kidding me? He was pumped. He's like, yes, come on. Ryan Day, go kick Holtz's ass. Yes. Did you see that?
What the hell is that?
Man, first of all, I'm all about winning graciously. I'm all about winning. Well, we can't. Okay. So I was going to say, let's talk about with Notre Dame. I was like, nope. Oh, we're talking about Ohio State. Let's wait.
Yeah, we could bring it up at Ohio State.
Yes. All right. Well, let's go on to 10.
Let's go to
Number 10, Alabama.
Top 10, baby. Who was this? It's Bama. They unfortunately had to drop one because they didn't dominate. I mean, that's plain and simple. They didn't dominate. But now they have to prove themselves all over again, which I think is going to be great motivation.
Who do they got this weekend? Alabama. Let me check for you. Alabama football. My guy Dart struggled against Bama's D. They got Mississippi State, so they're good. That's a get right game
Get right
game right there. So
there you go, man. Right. And depending on what happens, might be tough. They may even move up a couple. Who knows?
They could. Shane will be happy.
I don't know though. Shane should be happy.
He's a road tie. About the Bears.
Number 9, Oregon.
Put them higher.
Wow. So
I get my sunglasses. Where are my sunglasses?
Shame on you. However, did you please tell me you saw the head coach's pregame speech?
Bro, I'm surprised Cherie doesn't have it cut ready to play right now for us. Because that gets.
It was, I mean, you want to talk about really kind of understanding young kids and be that kind of counterculture of what folks are trying to get and be excited about.
Oh my God.
When he talked about
shutting
clicks,
down Hollywood.
Talking about clicks versus wins. I mean, I got the chills. I was just like, holy shit. I mean, this dude, I mean, he went to the heart of it. And literally,
that's what it's all about, man.
And when you play that type of talent, and honestly, I mean, let's be real. Right?
We both said it last week. If you go back, Colorado State, like rivalry game, whatever. I need to see who you are as a coach against the big pro. Oregon was coming to town. We knew. Let's see who you are then. And I did not. I'll just say this straight up. I didn't like the we. I mean, the I that Dion talks with after a law. So, and sure enough, you get stomped. There's nowhere to hide. There's no excuse.
But I do give Dion credit because I watched the press conference. Literally, his second statement, I think his first statement was, well, thank the Lord Jesus Christ. But the second statement was that was an old fishing butt whipping.
Yeah.
And it was. And he was flat out. He said, look, we beat us in every phase. Then he talked about how, and this was kind of different because he talked about how it was the fake punt that broke their back. And I was like, ooh, did you see the score at that point? I mean, it wasn't even like, I think they were up by 3 or something like that at that point. But, I mean, that was perfect. And, again, when you have a team, and it looks like to me more athletic than fundamental-wise, then you're going to have issues like that they're going to be a little bit more aggressive, overcompensate in some areas. And, obviously, the Oregon special team coach saw that shit on film. And they're like, guess what? We got a point to exploit.
Exactly. That's what
I think that literally broke it back. Okay, yeah. See, it was just, I was like, damn.
It was 35-0 at half. Served on a platter of just a bunch of pancakes everywhere. It was happening out there. And that's what it's about. I just didn't like we ain't there yet. Well, this is what you are. This is the culture.
And this is, sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to mention this before I forget it. Talked about how you need to come do it now because we're going to be better in the future.
Yeah.
But it was like me. But it was like me and I. Like, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be better. And I was like, wow, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I caught that too. I didn't no, our program, we're going to get better. It's me. It's me. I don't like the me. You're the coach. Served it. Welcome. And the other coach out-coached you on every facet of the game.
The whole staff. And again, to give Deion credit.
Oh, Knicks.
I mean, he's been in these games, and he's talked about it. He's like, look, every facet they beat us, we have to reevaluate our players and our coaches. And he's right. That's what happens.
The Bears did the same thing. They probably keep I'll say that for at least Dion is putting it out there. We got to look at our players and our coach. This coach is like, no, we got a great week. Justin's doing good. I think he scored 40 points in Madden tonight.
Wow.
What are we doing here?
Wow.
Hold somebody accountable.
Hello.
I give Dion credit for that. Let's go to number 8. But Bo Nix deserves a bow.
Yes. Yes. He definitely needs a tip of the hat.
Bo.
Woo.
I can't wait to watch USC.
It's gonna be tough, man. And it's gonna be at Colorado too. So
Caleb.
Number 8, Florida State.
One more comment on that one. Caleb. So
Yes.
this week, or maybe
Mhm.
mentioned that they were talking about his son going into the draft. And he said that Shador, his son, should wait until next year because the NIL money is just so great. And I'm thinking, wait till next year for what? Like, and then I thought, I was like, oh, he wants his son to be the first pick because Caleb's going to be the first pick this year. So they're like, so I was like, wow, that's, and then it's not like Shador's even, anyway, all right, that was just my point. I'm kind of shocked by that, actually. So, sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, so number 7, we are at we're Washington beat Cal.
Florida
I'm sorry,
State.
Florida State. Sorry about that.
Right.
I got a little excited. Clemson had a chance to
game.
redeem themselves, but it was close. It was close to me. I thought Clemson was actually going to do it.
But Florida State, you got to give them credit in the end. I mean, that was an intense game coming down to the wire. That was having fun watching that game. Florida, that quarterback too, Davis from Florida State, good football player, big moments. Yeah, exactly, Citizen. Good football player. Moments matter to me, and especially in college football. You want to see in the moment, how do they shine in the big moments? See, and again, mechanics and all that.
Phil, but like when it becomes on draft day, it's like they forget everything.
Well, that's because it's
all about measurements and all this other shit. And I'm like, man, you don't understand, man. And of course, I'm saying that these are scouts, but being in those moments, I mean, why even have the moments then, right? I mean, if you're not going to count what happens when, a quarterback is able to overcome some adversity in a certain game or something like that, right? I mean, and that's not even taken into account. But I digress. I apologize.
No, I want to finish it with a bow on this. That's the difference between looking at intangibles and seeing high upside and finding a bust.
Sure.
To looking at intangibles, looking at those moments, recognizing the adversity and what that is, because each and every Sunday they're going to face that on a level where money's involved.
Right.
So you have to find that guy that's able to do that in those big money moments. And a lot of these scouting departments and people fail to do that because measurables at high upside tend to weigh more. And, we've gone through the laundry list of Tom Brady and this one. How many guys are outliers to this? You have to look at those moments, and they don't. The good ones do. Bill Walsh always did. That's why they won. Let's look at number 7.
Number 7, Washington.
Our guy Washington, they go up 1 after beating Cal.
I know it's Cal, but this quarterback, man.
How many yards did he have?
What did he have? I have no idea how many yards he had. All I know is he was throwing some dimes out there. 59 to 32.
Yes,
Do
sir.
I have a stat on him?
Let's see if I can grab one.
I got it for you. Penix, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. He went 19 for 25. They even brought his backup in. Like the coach showed class and brought the backup in when it was getting it. So they weren't trying to. And then he has 1,636 yards on the season, as Sharice's point.
Jeez.
This kid's a player, man.
I'm a fan.
He could be. Is he the next Warren Moon out of Washington?
Oh, interesting.
Right?
We're actually running a little bit behind because of my
lateness.
My lateness, my tardiness. So we're gonna speed through a couple of these. So
all right, let's go quick.
Folks don't get in trouble. Real quick.
Number 6, Texas.
How exciting is this, though? I mean, come on, man. Sarkisian getting his ass together and he's back. This is awesome, man. This is exciting. This is
going to the
exciting, man.
AAA meetings. He's back.
Hey,
He's clean. Hey,
doing
he's
it.
got his team together. Texas is that giant just waiting, right? They're dying. They pay everybody. They're probably still paying Lincoln Riley.
Well, think about like the NIL deals there. Like, come
Oh
on,
my
man.
God.
How are they not getting like the best kids in America, man? That's awesome.
Matt McConaughey's over there.
Right.
They made a position for him on
right. And then I think he's
social
like
media Hollywood director.
Yeah. He's like teaching classes and shit or something like that.
Professor
great.
McConaughey. You take off your shirt, you come into class.
So little doobie. You're good.
All right.
All right. Let's go to number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. Penn State.
Phil, I know you were watching this one.
Yes, the
and
whiteout.
This is the one that you wanted, and it was. I mean, you wanted a competitive game.
Yeah, it made me watch Notre Dame game way more. Iowa's quarterback, former Michigan quarterback, McNamara, he could not handle it. Iowa couldn't. Penn State is the real deal, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This team is ready to rock and roll. I know Cherie's shaking her head, but Penn State, the whiteout. We love the whiteout, though.
Love it, man. Love it.
Penn State is in my heart, you know.
I just think they have the best uniforms in college football. Oh, second best, obviously. Well, actually, Notre Dame's number 1. For me, 2 is tied with Alabama and Penn State, only because they're the exact same.
I gotta give Penn State the edge over Alabama. There's something about the white.
The only difference, is just the number on the helmet. That's literally all.
Yeah, but the blue with navy blue and white,
love it.
Classic look.
Love it. And they don't change. They don't change.
Smart. They're smart.
I don't have a blue helmet for old folks' day or something. I mean, just come on. They just they go out there and play football, which is what you're supposed to do when you're wearing equipment. So
Penn
swag
State
doesn't mean shit.
The quarterback, man, he's legit. Reminds me of Big Ben Roethlisberger watching him. Look at this guy. Anyway, keep an eye on him. Here we go.
4?
I can't believe they're 4.
Number 4. Michigan.
Cherie's pissed.
So, in honor of Jim Harbaugh coming back,
coming back,
they have a okay win against a team that they should have dominated.
First of all, Rutgers is 4-0. They're playing great football. You gotta give Michigan some love here. Playing defense.
Here's my thing. You should only, and this is gonna piss a lot of people off. You should only play opponents that you recruit against. All right, like kids that are going to Rutgers, kids that are going to Michigan aren't giving up a scholarship to Rutgers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Rutgers beat Virginia Tech.
Not recruiting the same people.
I get it, but
I'm just saying.
The Scarlet Knights, man. Scarlet Knights. Greg Schiano, former Bears coach.
Second run. Yes, his second run.
He's come back to try to clean it up. They were 4-0. Michigan put it on them. I get what you're saying. You wanted to see more.
And they dropped 1 because...
Can't believe you dropped 1.
Number 3. Ohio State.
That other team,
yes,
a ranked team, a top 10 Super 16 post show ranked team.
Yes, I see what you did here. Your buddy can't argue, nor can Cherie.
However, Cherie should like this. We were at events this weekend with Coach Holtz. He was in town, and we were celebrating the 35th anniversary of the national championship team. And He was on stage, and he was telling a story about one of our players who was also being recruited to Notre Dame along with Ward Manuel. And Ward Manuel is the current AD at Michigan. And so Lou goes off like 5 minutes about how great of a player Ward is. And so, like, I start texting Ward. I was like, dude, like, how does he do this? He's 85, and he still remembers everything about you and your recruiting story and everything else. So it was kind of funny. He responded about, man, I'm trying to win a game, man. Stop texting me right now. So I'm right in the middle of the game. Stop texting me.
Ward Manuel. Yeah, Lou Holtz. My dad's like that too. He remembers all these things, and he remembers being with Coach Holtz. My dad. I think he told that story to you, I think. But when he was at UConn.
Right, yes, I'm laughing at
Cherie's comment. Yeah.
Yes, that's what happens on my poll. So yes.
Cherie should be wearing glasses and a cowboy hat.
Hello.
Talking about me and I.
Wow. 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 All right, let's see who number 2 is.
Number 2, get ready.
Number 2, USC.
What can I say?
We are.
I mean, it's just they wound up staying at 2 because of who they have a quarterback. And they were going to dominate. They were dominate Arizona State anyway. So
this kid was at Oklahoma, and we saw his growth there, Chris. Then the head coach gets a fully chartered airplane service to go to USC. We saw it last year.
With a whole bunch of back money.
We thought USC was on the precipice of a national championship, and they ended up losing to Utah.
The Utes!
The Ben Ricketts show, and they get knocked out. And listen, this kid's back. I said he was the best quarterback I've seen in the last 15 years. He continues to throw highlight reel throws and accuracy and anticipation. It's unbelievable. I'm with you. He's the reason they're number 2. Now we go.
Point being, it's going to be interesting because if Dion is telling his son to stay in college because he's not going to be the number 1 pick because Caleb is, like, I don't understand that. Has he ever heard of injury before? Like, the money, the NIL money, even at Colorado, that his kid is getting, does not compare to what he can make as maybe the number 2 pick or number 3 or whatever. I'm not even there yet. We actually see that he's human.
How do we even know this kid is a first round talent?
This is his dad's. This is his dad's hype machine. So
I don't see it yet. I was looking for it against Oregon. I saw 6 out of 14, or was it 6 out of 28, 59 yards and an interception against Oregon in the first half, something like that. Then he came back in the second half, played a little better, but hey.
But
not crown anybody yet.
Imagine the pressure. So
yeah,
it's one thing when your head coach says something, and coaches don't do that. They don't, in game week 4, they're not touting one of their players as a Heisman candidate. They're not touting one of their players as a first-round draft pick next year.
Right.
Not only is the head coach doing that, but it's also his kid.
It's a tough situation.
It's tough. It's tough. I'm sorry. I'm going way on. Let's go to number 1.
Number 1, we will see USC, Caleb versus Shedeur.
Absolutely.
This Saturday. Must see TV.
Must see.
Let's see how the Buffs rebound.
Number 1, Georgia.
Georgia UAB. Actually, Georgia is real. They dominated 49-21. Once again, I think it's going to be interesting as they go throughout the season. Could they be the first three-peat? That will be interesting. We can kind of skip the rest of the details because Unless you got something, because I want to talk about my top 5, then we can get out of here. I'm impressed. Thank you for putting it that time without even a mention. That is what you call a super producer, because I did not tell him that we were going to do that. He just had that little icon, clicked it up there. It's on a script. Okay, here we go again. See, that's terrible. So my number 1 game that we talked about was SC Colorado. I think that's going to be an interesting game.
SC Colorado.
And you have the Colorado Buffaloes bounce back. And, oh, by the way, it has to be against the number 2 team in the country. It's going to be interesting.
Chris, we got our first super chat question
of
the show. Jeremy Anastasi, I thank you. And 1999, Harbaugh gonna dot that brown eye against Ohio one more time before coming home to Chicago. Bear down and go blue. He just wanted to jump on the show and say that. Appreciate you, fellas.
Oh, Jeremy, I think that would be the perfect ending to both his career at Michigan and the new excitement in Chicago, if that happened. I think that would be a great prediction. We should take a screenshot of that. And if and when that happens, we will actually give you your 1999 back because you're so awesome.
Yes. I'll leave it up right there. Take a screenshot of it.
Nice.
And
that is
there
great.
We go. Jimmy Harbaugh coming back to town. That would be awesome. What other top 5 games? I got one USC buff.
Yes.
LSU.
I got LSU Ole Miss.
Nice.
Only because we want to see what happens with BK. 3, and this was hard, but I want to see. I'm a big Sarkisian fan because I'm all about second chances. Kansas at Texas. Good one.
Kansas is playing tough.
They are. And then, there's that game that they actually just turned to primetime on ABC that's going to be happening in North Carolina. Notre Dame at Duke? What? How did that happen?
Notre Dame at Duke?
How did that happen?
Duke is just laying out people.
Prime time with on ABC at 6:30. What is going on here?
Coach Krzyzewski leaves the basketball program. All of a sudden, the football program got better.
Hello, how about that? Let's do that now. And by the way,
dude,
the coach at Duke was the former defensive coordinator at Notre Dame. How about that?
There it is. And they smashed Jim Moore Jr.'s UConn Huskies.
Smashed.
Somebody wanted me to go to that game. I was like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. I'll be breaking down kid with 7 and I'll be breaking down film with 7 and 8 year olds. By the way, okay. last one, number 5 is South Carolina at Tennessee. They need to prove themselves. I think South Carolina is going to be a little upset, so they're going to go out there and have some fun against the ranked Tennessee. Not in our poll, but a good Tennessee team.
Yes, the kid's back. We'll see how he does in Tennessee.
And our buddy's back, Rattler from 6 different schools and a great high school career.
Is the show QB1 coming back to Netflix? I've always enjoyed that, and now I haven't seen it.
What if they have like a QB1 revisited and see how those guys are doing?
They took the Justin Fields one off. I don't know why. I wanted to see it
before the season or like after.
No. Last year wasn't available. I don't know where it is or where you could see it. I looked for it. I love those documentaries. Do you see the Johnny Manziel one?
I have not, but somebody told me you have to see. You have
to see it.
I watched the one for they did. That's interesting. All the QB said no.
That's the quarterback. That's a different one. QB1 is the high school. Similar, like follow the quarterbacks from high school around. There's 4 or 5 that they follow around and do a documentary on.
So on Netflix, there's the and it was executive produced by Urban Meyer.
Oh, okay. The Swamp.
Gators. Bro,
I haven't watched that one yet.
I only watched the first episode. I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe this dude was not arrested right there on the spot. back in 06 or 04.
Urban Meyer?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
You got to, man. They were fight. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about this later. But we want to finish the show up. So I'm getting fired up, man, because that show was crazy.
We should do a show.
A show within a show. There you go.
A show. We talk television shows with Zorich every Thursday night.
And a Toshin.
TTNL. Toshin and Zorich. The show.
Show.
The show. For show.
Show.
We'll call it for show.
Zoe. No, we can call it Zoe.
The Zoe
show. Z&O.
Oh, holy shit.
Whoa. Boom. We just dropped that. Bam. We just said that. Hello. New show. You don't have any room. Gee, you don't have any room on TTNL, man.
8 and 9-year-olds can watch. Everybody can watch.
We can do it live at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
We'll do it live. Even if it's
the Zoe show.
Script. The Zoe show. Zorich and a Toast.
Zoe show.
For show.
For show. Oh, Jesus. You're terrible. Thank you, sir. It was awesome.
Awesome show again.
Excited
tonight.
about this week in college football.
Excited. Is he coming back? Is Jeremy Anastasi wants it? I want him back. Cherie's even willing to let him leave Michigan to come to Chicago.
To come back. That's awesome.
Just to turn this around. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Chris Zorich every Monday night, the Super 16.
Again, I apologize about the technical difficulty. I am so sorry about that, but let's do that again, Phil. I'm sorry.
It's okay, bro. We forgive you.
Thank you.
You're the best every Monday night, the Super 16
show
with Chris Zorich here on TTNL. We'll be back next Monday night, breaking it all down this week. Tomorrow night, keeping it fantasy debuts finally. 10 o'clock East tomorrow night, Tuesday night. Then Wednesday, we have Zach Pearson from the Bear Report on Keeping It 100. Lock in your stuff. Become a patron, thetapeneverlies.com. I'll release my tape breakdown Wednesday afternoon or Thursday. Depends on if I can stomach it, Chris. I'm putting that out there beforehand. Oh my God, I got goosebumps watching Cole Kmet miss another block. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Terrible. I'm sorry.
Terrible. Notre Dame killing me, man. Killing me.
There's 2, Claypool and anyway. We'll see you guys next week for the 3-time All-American, CBS Defensive Player of the Year, national champion, College Football Hall of Famer, and yes, not on the script, all Madden defensive tackle Chris Zorich. For the super producer in the background, Lady Bear, I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil. We'll see you next time on the Super 16 Show. Thanks for watching the Super 16 Poll Show with Chris Zorich. Like, subscribe, and comment. This has been a special presentation of the Tape Never Lies Network. Performance over politics.